The new season has one big main goal: the general classification in the Tour de France. After winning both the Giro and the Vuelta, I can consider this a realistic target. However, there is one huge obstacle. 8-time Tour winner Tadej Pogačar will be taking part again. Although I managed to beat him in the recent Dauphiné, it will certainly be extremely difficult to do the same in a 3-week Grand Tour. Before heading into the Tour, I first go into the spring season, ending with Liège-Bastogne-Liège. The Volta a Catalunya was where my season started. The opening stage ended in a sprint and Quinn Simmons took the win. Stage 2 was an individual time trial. I had a strong day and managed to win it by 5 seconds over Hayter. I also took the leader's jersey. Stage 3 finished uphill. Wydar was in the early breakaway and managed to hold off the favorites. From the peloton, I finished second and did well for the overall classification. Stage 4 was the Queen stage. If you were still in the lead after this day, your chances of winning the GC were looking very good. In the finale, 4 of us remained: Donny, Delacai, Stone Mittet, and myself. With 1.5 kilometers to go, Donny attacked. I tried to respond, but unfortunately, I couldn't close the gap. Still, I kept the leader's jersey and was well positioned to defend it. Stage 5 featured a steep climb with its summit 15 kilometers from the finish. I tried to attack there, but it didn't work out. In the end, Jorgensen was the fastest in the sprint. Stage 6 was a mass sprint, won by Halland Johansson. Stage 7 was the final stage, raced on a local circuit. In the last lap, I tried to create a gap, not on the climb, but on the descent. It worked. I pushed through for another stage win. I ended the race, winning both the general classification and the points jersey. Next up was the Itzulia Basque Country. The race opened with a short prologue, where I placed 17th, 15 seconds down on the winner, Ivan Romeo. Stage 2 ended in a sprint, won by Albanese. Stage 3 was also a sprint, with Blackmore taking the win. Stage 4 was won by G from the early breakaway. I finished safely in the peloton. The GC would be decided in stages 5 and 6. The 5th stage had a summit 15 kilometers from the finish. I decided to save everything for the 6th stage, and just follow here. That plan worked out fine. August won the stage from the breakaway. Stage 6 finished on a steep climb. In the end, the climb was just a bit too short for me to fight for the win. 3 riders got away, and although I tried to chase, I didn't get any closer. I had to settle for 4th place. Then came the Spring Classics, starting with the race that suits me the least, the Amstel Gold Race. Too many short climbs, too explosive. Still, it was good preparation for the races to come. Despite low expectations, I raced aggressively, taking the initiative to attack. I couldn't create a decisive gap, but I managed to thin out the group together with my teammate Vacek. The problem, as usual, was that the final kilometers were relatively flat, and I just couldn't get away. In the end, it came down to a sprint. Monson won, and I only managed 11th place. On to the next one. The Flèche Wallonne was always going to be decided on the final climb. Still, I tried to surprise the others with an attack just after the descent. For a moment, it looked promising. I got a small gap, but I was caught just before the Mur de Huy. That's where the real fireworks began, and I couldn't follow. Remco Evenepoel was the strongest that day. I finished 6th. Then came the main goal of the spring, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. I had prepared well and was eager to race. My tactic was clear. I told my teammates to push hard on all the climbs. I needed the race to be as tough as possible, less explosive, and with fewer domestiques left. It had to come down to one-on-one efforts. Van Gils stayed with me the longest, but from La Redoute onward, I was alone. My recurring problem is that I'm not explosive enough to get away. Whenever I attack, everyone immediately jumps on my wheel. After several failed attempts, I finally got a small gap, but unfortunately the pace behind didn't drop, and the race came back together. The decisive move only came later. Evenepoel and Del Toro broke away and fought for the win. Evenepoel was the strongest of the two. In the group behind, the sprint was for the final podium spot. Unsurprisingly, I was the last of that group. finishing 8th overall. After almost 2 months without racing, the focus shifted entirely to the Tour de France. Before that, I rode the Tour de Suisse and the national championships. Last year, I managed to beat Tadej Pogačar in the preparation race before the Tour. This time, I faced him again in Switzerland. The race opened with an 11-kilometer prologue where I placed 15th, 29 seconds down on Evans Mason. Vernon won Stage 2. Stage 3 was already a serious mountain stage. On the final climb, the pace was high. When things eased slightly with 1.5 kilometers to go, I attacked. For a moment, it looked good, but then that crazy Slovenian came past me and snatched the stage win right at the end. Stage 4 also stayed in the mountains. Halfway through, the flat roads disappeared, and it was either up or down from then on. With 3 kilometers to the top, Pogačar decided it was enough and attacked. I was forced to ride my own pace. The gap kept growing, and I finished 8th on the stage. Stage 5 was the Queen stage. I was sitting 5th in GC, aiming to move up toward the podium. When the attacks came, I stuck to my usual strategy: set my own pace and grind to the top. Pogačar's form was unreal. He simply dropped everyone without mercy and completed his hat-trick of stage wins. Behind him, I did well. I reeled in the other attackers and finished as the first chaser. That result also moved me up to 2nd place in the GC. Stage 6 was won by Albert Philipsen from the breakaway. The final road stage was decided in a sprint, won by Jos Oosterlink. Stage 8 was an individual time trial, and I closed out the race in style with a stage victory. I finished 2nd in the GC, behind Tadej Pogačar. Next came the Italian National Championships. Ghana was once again my biggest rival. The course was completely flat, not in my favor. Still, I went all in for my 3rd title. At the first time check, I was 20 seconds ahead of Ghana. Unfortunately, by the 2nd check, the situation had flipped. I gave everything in the final kilometers, but in the end, I lost my jersey. The world champion Ghana had beaten me. The road race of the Italian Championships was held on a typical course, a local circuit with a modest climb. A hard race would play to my advantage. It felt like déjà vu from last year. I kept trying to attack, but every time the others were on my wheel. Each lap, riders dropped, but I still couldn't shake off that pesky Ghana. He was struggling, but managed to hang on. And by the time it was finally going my way, the climb was already over. After the last climb, it was clear again. I would be 2nd, just like last year. On the flat, Ghana even rode away from me. I'm frustrated. I feel strong, but the courses never quite fit my strengths. If you like content like this, please subscribe and leave a comment.